We all have ideas of the lives we want to live and how we want to live them. But sometimes our minds get tripped up on things like anxiety that hold us back from pursuing our dreams and our purpose. If you have suffered from anxiety holding you back, stick around. This video is for you. Hi, I'm Keisha Golder, and today I am going to share with you 3 ways for how to conquer your anxiety and get back in sync with your true self and the life that you want to live. Many of us have experienced times where we aren't quite feeling ourselves and we're kind of feeling out of sync with the things that we're used to doing and the ways that we're used to doing them. During these times is when our anxiety can creep in and take over. And once it creeps in, it hinders us from doing anything that is going to get us to our end goal and our end game of living the life that we want. So, how can we combat this anxiety so that we are able to continue pushing forward to fulfill ourselves as well as our lives the way that we want? You can set aside personal time so that you can evaluate your feelings and understand where they disconnected. A lot of times, and I can say this is especially true for me, we go through life with the same habits, the same beliefs, the same feelings that we've always had. And half of the time, we don't even know why we've had those feelings. Most of the time, it's because that's just what everybody else in the family has lived with or said that you should feel or think or whatever. So when you are experiencing anxiety about where you are and how you're feeling and you're noticing that things are not matching up, take some time to reevaluate your feelings, your thoughts, your beliefs, your values, and your habits. Are you still in alignment with all of those things, how they currently are? Or do you feel that your habits, your values, your beliefs, your feelings have changed? And if they have changed, how have they changed? And how can you reflect the change in your daily life? See, anxiety, when it comes to living the life that you want, only has as much power as you give it. So if you are in a constant state of what if, you are always going to be anxious because guess what? You cannot predict the future. I cannot predict the future. Sometimes we think one thing is going to happen and something completely opposite happens, and it's fine. But when we take the time to figure out, are we still in alignment with everything that we have ever believed or everything that we have ever felt? These habits that we created, are they still helping us? Because remember, the key to purpose and that feeling of fulfillment is being in alignment, knowing exactly what you want and making sure that it resonates with your life in the current moment. So take time to stop, feel your feelings, understand them, be able to express them, and determine whether or not they still resonate with who you truly are. The second way that we can combat anxiety from preventing us to live the life that we want is to stop expecting the worst. If you are anything like me, for majority of my life, I have stated proudly, I expect the worst because when it happens, I won't be disappointed. Now listen to that. I expect the worst because when it happens, I won't be disappointed. That means I am literally going around thinking the worst possible scenarios all the time. They're running in my mind. And it's kind of like I'm looking forward to them happening. That is never going to get me to where I need to be. That is never going to get me to where I want to be. So how do we stop it? We stop it by regaining control of our thought processes. Because when we are in those anxious moments, we're in here and we stay in here and we build a world where everything that is not supposed to happen is happening, where every possible mess up occurs. And we stay in here and we forget to come back out into reality. So, in order to stop us from staying in here, we need to take a breath. And while we're taking this breath, we are repeating to ourselves that this is not reality. This is fantasy. And you're going to keep breathing. And you're going to keep repeating to yourself, this is not reality. This is fantasy. And you're going to smile. And you're going to keep breathing. And then you are going to allow yourself to come back to your actual reality. And I know you're probably thinking, well, it is my reality because this is how I feel. But why are you expecting the worst? And let me tell you, everyone might not have an answer for that. The reason I always expected the worst was because it hurt less. Not that it didn't hurt at all. It hurt less. And I was more satisfied with being hurt less than I was with not being hurt at all. So it's important for you to be able to bring yourself back to your actual reality and be able to identify the moments where you're in here. And you're in here far too deep because it's taking you down rabbit holes that you don't need to be. So remember, when you start to feel that everything bad is going to happen and you're just going to expect the worst, breathe. Remind yourself that it is not reality. It's a fantasy. Smile and bring yourself back to your current moment. Simple enough to do, but effective nonetheless. The third way that anxiety keeps us from fulfilling our purpose and living the lives that we've always wanted is because it keeps us stuck in our head, like I just talked about in the last tip. We stay stuck in our heads. While we're stuck in our heads, we are disconnected from all of our senses. Touch, smell, hearing, taste, sight. All of our senses we are disconnected from because when we can't be in this moment and be in here at the same time. And I'm not just talking about regular thinking. I'm talking about actual, in your head, creating a world, creating scenarios, creating situations, creating responses from people. That's what I mean when I say that you're stuck in your head. So how can we combat this being disconnected from our senses? Well, when we're lost in thoughts, we are going to look. And when we look, we're going to take a breath and we're going to look at everything around us. In our actual moment of wherever we are, we're going to look at everything around us because that's bringing us back into reality. That's bringing us back in touch with our senses. We are going to listen. We're going to close our eyes. And we're going to listen to all the sounds that are surrounding us. Because again, that brings us back in touch with our reality. And we are going to touch. We are going to feel our bodies. We are going to feel how our bodies feel while we're either sitting in a chair or on a couch, standing up against the wall, whatever it is that we're doing at that moment, sitting or standing. Because we need to come back and be in touch with ourselves in the present moment. And the best way for us to do that is to get back in touch with our senses. Come out of our heads. Am I telling you that it's going to be easy to just tomorrow stop being anxious at certain things or stop having those moments where you get carried away with your anxiety? No, I'm not. But the minute you start to change it, it'll become a little bit easier. That way tomorrow you won't have as many anxious moments. And then the next day you'll notice you have a few more less anxious moments. And so on and so forth. It is the intention that you put behind everything that you do that is going to give you the outcome that you want. So in this moment, in this time, wherever you are watching this video, make a promise to yourself that you will stop letting the impossible situations that you've created keep you from doing those beautiful, anointed, blessed things that you want to do. Because at the end of the day, no one is stopping you but you. Let's get rid of the anxiety and reclaim our lives. Because that's what we're here to do. We're here to reclaim our lives on our terms. Let's do that.